Now we will discuss about extrinsic semiconductors. What is extrinsic semiconductor? Extrinsic semiconductor means impure form of semiconductor. But how will get the impure form of semiconductor? Whenever an intrinsic semiconductor is doped with some any other group of elements, we form impure form. That means by adding some any additional impurities to the pure form of semiconductor, that means intrinsic semiconductor, we will form the extrinsic semiconductor. But depending upon the doping element to the intrinsic semiconductor, they are further classified into two types: n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor. Now we will discuss about n-type semiconductor. What is n-type semiconductor? Whenever an intrinsic semiconductor is doped with fifth group elements. Whenever intrinsic semiconductor is doped with fifth group elements. What are fifth group elements? Phosphorus, arsenic and antimony. These are fifth group elements. Whenever intrinsic semiconductor is doped with fifth group elements, automatically it forms n-type semiconductor. But we know that fifth group elements consist of how many valency electrons? So it consists of 5 valency electrons. So fifth group elements contains 5 valency electrons. Whenever this fifth group element is doped to the intrinsic semiconductor, that means for understanding here we are taking the germanium semiconductor. For this germanium semiconductor, it is doped with phosphorus. So it denotes phosphorus atom. So the phosphorus atom having how many valency electrons? 5 valency electrons. In that 5 valency electrons, 4 valency electrons are participate in covalent bonding. This is the first valency electron, second valency electron, third valency electron and fourth valency electron. So these are participating in 4 covalent bondings with the surrounding 4 germanium atoms. This is first germanium atom, second germanium, third germanium and fourth germanium atom. But what about the fifth valency electron? So this is the fifth valency electron. This fifth valency electron is loosely bounded with their parent atom. When we take the semiconductor at a T equal to 0 Kelvin, then what will happen? So here at a T equal to 0 degree Kelvin means we are not supplying any type of energy, even though thermal energy also. At this temperature, their fifth valency electron, this is the fifth valency electron, that valency electron is loosely bounded with their parent atom. So that's why there are no free electrons in the conduction band. So what will happen? There are no charge carriers for conduction. So at T equal to 0 degree Kelvin, it perfectly acts as a insulator. At a T equal to 0 degree Kelvin, even n-type semiconductor also will perfectly act as a insulator due to the absence of charge carriers. But when we are slowly rising the temperature, then what will happen? When we are slowly rising the temperature, first of all, the fifth valency electron absorb that energy and excite into the conduction band. That is diagrammatically represented here. It excites into the conduction band. So these excited electrons are responsible for conduction. When we are increasing the energy, all the fifth valency electrons absorb that energy and excite into the conduction band. Further, when we increase the temperature, what will happen? Further, when we will increase the temperature of the semiconductor by breaking the covalent bonding. By breaking the covalent bonding, the valency electron will excite into the conduction band. Whenever the electron is excited into the conduction band, it creates some hole in the covalent bond. The absence of electron is called as hole. So that is diagrammatically represented here. This is the excitation of electron from here to here by breaking the covalent bonding. So that's why what are the majority and minority charge carriers? So electrons are the majority charge carriers and holes are the minority charge carriers. So whenever the temperature goes on increases, more number of covalent bonds breaking takes place and more number of electrons and holes pairs will create. That means more number of electrons will excite into the conduction band. So what are the charge carriers in same N-type semiconductor? Majority charge carriers are electrons and minority charge carriers are holes. But here we are discussing about the variation of Fermi level position in N-type semiconductor. So which is the expression for the Fermi level in N-type semiconductor? But at T equal to 0 degree Kelvin, that means at low temperature, so the first term becomes 0. Second term becomes 0. What is the remaining term? So EF equal to ED plus EC by 2. That means it always lies between donor level and conduction level or conduction band. So this is the expression for EF at T equal to 0 Kelvin or at lower temperature. But when we are increasing the temperature, then what will happen? So here, this curve denotes the variation of Fermi level at a high temperature. But when we are increasing the temperature of the N-type semiconductor, what will happen? When we are slowly increasing the temperature of the semiconductor, the fifth valency electron absorbs that energy and it will excite into the conduction band. So that's why at the starting position, the corresponding Fermi level position slightly increase upwards or towards the conduction band. Further, we are increasing the temperature of the N-type semiconductor, what will happen? Further, when we increase the temperature of the N-type semiconductor, by breaking the covalent bonding, both electrons and holes will create. So that's why the corresponding Fermi level decreases and finally reaches to the intrinsic Fermi level position. To understand this concept, so we are taking the small example. Suppose 100 pentavalent atoms are doped to the intrinsic semiconductor. So it develops how many electrons? 100 electrons. But at some 10 degrees centigrade, we are assuming here for understanding purpose, at 10 degrees centigrade, all the pentavalent electrons are excited. So it forms 100 electrons. But when we are increasing the temperature more than 10 degrees centigrade, then what will happen? By breaking the covalent bonding, electrons and hole pairs will create. Suppose 10 covalent bonds breaking takes place. So in that situation, how many electrons and how many holes are there? 110 electrons are there. 10 holes are there. Suppose 1 lakh covalent bonds breaking takes place. Then what will happen? 1 lakh 100 electrons will create, 1 lakh holes will create. But in this example, 100 difference is negligible. So that's why at high temperature, the Fermi level is always lies between valency level and conduction level. That means it always reaches to the intrinsic Fermi level position. Now we will discuss about p-type semiconductor. So what is p-type semiconductor? Whenever intrinsic semiconductor is doped with third group elements such as aluminum, gallium, indium. So it's doped to the intrinsic semiconductor, automatically it forms p-type semiconductor. But the third group elements having only 3 valency electrons. So how many electrons it have? Third group elements only having 3 valency electrons. But whenever the third group elements are doped into the germanium semiconductor. So in this example, so this is the aluminum atom which denotes the third group element. It's doped into the germanium atom, then what will happen? So here the aluminum atom forms 3 covalent bondings with the 3 surrounding germanium atoms. This is the first germanium atom, second germanium atom, and third germanium atom. But for the formation of fourth germanium atom, it requires one more electron. So the aluminum atom forms how many covalent bondings with the surrounding 3 germanium atoms? It forms only 3 covalent bondings with the surrounding 3 germanium atoms. For the formation of fourth covalent bonding, it requires one more electron. But we will observe the deficiency of the electron is created for the formation of fourth covalent bonding for aluminum atom. But here, when we take this p-type semiconductor at T equal to 0 degree Kelvin, what will happen? At a T equal to 0 Kelvin means we are not supplying any type of energy. That means even though thermal energy also. All the valency electrons are participating in covalent bonding, so it perfectly acts as a insulator. So at T equal to 0 degree Kelvin, like N-type semiconductor, P-type semiconductor also will perfectly act as a insulator. But when the temperature is slowly rises, then what will happen? When we are increasing the temperature, the electrons from the valency band try to occupy the acceptor and it gets ionized and creating the hole in the valency band. That means here by breaking the covalent bonding, both electron and holes will create. So here after breaking the covalent bonding, hole is created here, but this electron will occupy in the acceptor. That means here it fulfill the formation of fourth covalent bonding. So that is clearly mentioned here in this figure. So by breaking the covalent bonding, this electron will excite and occupy and participate in the fourth covalent bonding of aluminum atom. Like this, what are the majority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor? Holes are majority and electrons are minority. So whenever all aluminum atoms, that means doping atoms, are formed fourth covalent bonding, after that covalent bond breaking takes place, then what will happen? The electron will excite into the conduction band. After the ionization of all acceptor atoms, then what will happen? The electrons will excite into the conduction band. So in this situation, the electrons are minority, holes are the majority charge carriers. Now we will discuss about the variation of Fermi level position in p-type semiconductor. But which is the expression for the Fermi level position in p-type semiconductor? But in this expression, when we take the semiconductor at low temperature, that means T approximate equal to 0. So then what will happen? The second term becomes 0. So what is the remaining term? So remaining term EF equal to EV plus EA by 2. That means it always lies between valency level and acceptor level. So this is the Fermi level position. But when we are increasing the temperature of the semiconductor, that means how the Fermi level position vary with respect to the temperature. Now we'll discuss about that. Here, when we are increasing the temperature of the semiconductor, first of all, the holes are created. So that's why the Fermi level position slightly moves towards the valency band. Further, we are increasing the temperature of the semiconductor by the generation of both electrons and hole pairs. The corresponding Fermi level position is always reaches to the intrinsic Fermi level position like this. But why the corresponding Fermi level position reaches to the intrinsic Fermi level position at high temperature? Because here at a high temperature, the generated both electrons and holes concentration is more when we compare with the acceptor atoms. So that's why it finally reaches to the intrinsic Fermi level position in p-type semiconductor.